In this video we're going to discuss how we say the equivalent of not in Guernsey, and then how we say yes or no in response to a question. Finally, we'll talk about how we agree or disagree with a statement that someone else makes. Firstly, the way to say not is to put the word ne before the verb in a sentence, and then also the word pas after the verb. If the word begins with a vowel, ne is replaced by n apostrophe. So here are some examples. Il est ici.
Il est ici.
Il est ici.
Il est ici, he is here. The negative is il n'est pas ici.
Il n'est pas ici.
Il n'est pas ici.
Il n'est pas ici, he is not here. Another example, ils sont là.
Ils sont là.
Ils sont là.
Ils sont là. They are there. The negative is ils ne sont pas là.
Ils ne sont pas là.
Ils ne sont pas là.
Ils ne sont pas là. They are not there. In actual speech, the ne is not often heard and is reduced to n apostrophe. So one would hear ils ne sont pas là. In fact, for many speakers, the n apostrophe is so indistinct that it might as well not be there, and so one hears il est pas ici, meaning in effect that only the pas indicates that the statement is a negative one. So here's a couple more examples. À la cribion.
À la cribion.
À la cribion.
À la cribion, she writes well, and the negative is à n'écrit pas bien.
À n'écrit pas bien.
À n'écrit pas bien.
À n'écrit pas bien, she doesn't write well, which will often be heard as elle écrit pas bien. Another example, il odeur.
Il odeur.
Il odeur.
Il odeur, he is hard of hearing. The negative is il n'a pas d'eux.
Il n'a pas d'eux.
Il n'a pas d'eux.
Il n'a pas d'eux, he isn't hard of hearing, but it'll often be heard as il n'a pas d'eux.
Il n'a pas d'eux.
Il n'a pas d'eux.
The ne seems to be on the way out with only the part remaining. There's a lot more we could say about negative words, such as how to say never or nothing, and we'll come back to that at the end of the video. Before this, we'll discuss how we say yes and no in Guernsey. This was mentioned briefly in the second video, where we learned that yes was oui, or wa in the less formal speech, and no was non. This is literally only half the story, and in fact there are other words for yes and no. So to understand this, let's imagine that we're in a pub, a cabaret, and it's our turn to buy the next round of drinks. We could ask one of the people that we are buying for, Est-ce que tu veux un autre? Do you want another?
Est-ce que tu veux un autre?
Est-ce que tu veux un autre?
Est-ce que tu veux un autre? Do you want another? Remember, est-ce que literally means is it that? Now we simply just say do in English, and the word out means other, so un out is another. Let's try this out. Est-ce que tu veux un autre?
Non, non, merci.
Non, merci, no thank you. Est-ce que tu veux un autre?
Oui, s'il te plaît.
Oui, s'il te plaît, or wa s'il te plaît, yes please. Because one could just say yes or no, one need not add anything else. Now suppose instead we ask the question like this. Est-ce que tu ne veux pas un autre? Don't you want another? In English it's not so clear how to answer this. If one says yes, does this mean yes, I do want another, or yes, I don't want another? In Guernsey the situation is clearer, since we use different forms of yes and no when the question is framed in a negative sense. So, est-ce que tu ne veux pas un autre?
Si te akatai.
Si te akatai, yes if you're buying. Est-ce que tu ne veux pas un autre?
Non, je ne veux pas un autre.
Non, je veux pas un autre. No, I don't want another one. Once again, one could simply answer yes or no, but we do need to use si or nay, since the question is formed in a negative sense. English used to have a similar distinction, with yea and nay being used to respond to positively framed questions, and yes and no to negatively framed questions. But nowadays we're only left with yes and no. So Now, how do we respond to a statement rather than a question, supposing that we want to give a yes-no answer to a statement? So this is a bit more complicated, since there are different types of statements that on hearing we may or may not agree with, or which we may interpret as a question. For example, Toronto is the capital of Canada. His sister's car is red. He is rather lazy. The first is false, the second can in principle be checked, and the third is an opinion. However, they are all assertions, not questions. So to respond to a negatively framed assertion, we use the same form as for questions. So here's an example. Il n'est pas à faire du travail, travailler. He's not doing any work this afternoon. Let me ask that again. Il n'est pas à faire du travail, travailler.
Nang, il est à la barque.
Yeah, na, il est à la barque. No, he's at the beach. Il n'est pas à faire du travail, travailler.
Si, il est à travailler à la ville.
Si, il est à travailler à la ville. Yes, he's working in town. However, if you're responding to a positively framed assertion, we use a different set of words. To agree, we use the word Vère, which means truly or certainly, and it's related to the English word verily. So we can translate Vère as yes, that's true. So, allez à faire du travail, travailler.
Vère, aller à travailler à la ville.
Yes, Vère, allez à travailler à la ville. Yes, she's working in town. So to disagree, we use the word nous fait, which literally means not a fact. So nous fait can be translated as no, that's not true, or no, that's not so. So we could say, allez à faire du travail, travailler.
Nous fait aller à la barque.
Yeah, nous fait aller à la barque. No, she's at the beach. So all of this is for assertions, but some statements are essentially questions. For example, if we go back to our questions in the pub, we could say, tu veux un out, you want another, and miss out the eschke, and rely on the tone of the voice to turn it into a question. Or having tea with someone, you can say, tu pour du sucre, or tu pour pas du sucre, you take sugar or you don't take sugar. So whether in the distant past people asked questions in genius ye by making statements and using the tone of their voice to imply it was a question is a matter for debate, but it's likely that people are doing this more now. So the word Vère cannot be used to respond to a question, only an assertion. So probably if someone believed they were being asked a question, they would respond with oui or wa rather than Vère, even if it was in the form of a statement. Although we can give rules for many aspects of the language, there are inevitably grey areas. While we have given a standard form of yes-no responses to statements, variations exist and individual usage differs. Finally, we can add ja to the responses, oui, non, I, ver, and so on, to give added emphasis. For example, verb ja could be translated as yes, certainly, and nous fait ja as no, certainly not. So this is just a little chat at the end about different ways of making negative statements involving ideas such as nothing or never. So the construction is similar to that used for the simple negation not. That is, to put ne or n apostrophe before the verb and another word expressing negation after the verb. For not, this word was pas, but for never it's jamais, and for nothing it's real. So let's look at some examples, first with never. Il n'est jamais ici.
Il n'est jamais ici.
Il n'est jamais ici.
Il n'est jamais ici. He is never here. As before, the n apostrophe can be so indistinct that one hears il est jamais ici. Sometimes a pas is also added, so one can say il n'est pas jamais ici. Or without the n, il est pas jamais ici. It should be stressed, however, that in genius ye two negatives don't make a positive, as can be the case in English, so having both a jamais and a pas does not make the statement a positive one. The same construction goes through for real. In the example below, we use the word il y a, which means there is. So, il n'y a rien ici. There is nothing here.
Il n'y a rien ici.
Il n'y a rien ici.
Il n'y a rien ici. there is nothing here. Once again, this might be heard as "il y a", and some speakers might say "il n'y a pas y" or "il y a pas y", but they all mean the same thing. So there are other words apart from jamais and "rio" that we can use to form negative statements. For example, "aucun" for nobody, but the construction is the same as we've just discussed. There are also a number of more colourful ways of making negative statements. So here are just two, using un brin, a berry, and en lerme, a drop, in the sense of a drop of liquid. So, il n'y a pas un brin.
Il n'y a pas un brin.
Il n'y a pas un brin.
Il n'y a pas un brin. There isn't anything. Literally, there isn't a berry. You'll also use en miat, a crumb, instead of a berry.
En miat.
En miat.
En miat, a crumb, yes. Je ne vais l'homme, I can't see a thing.
Je ne vais l'homme.
Je ne vais l'homme.
Je ne vais l'homme, I can't see a thing, literally is I can't see a drop. L'homme is a drop. As is often the case with Genesis, we can strengthen this by using de followed by the word again. So we can say je ne vais l'homme de l'homme.
Je ne vais l'homme de l'homme.
Je ne vais l'homme de l'homme.
Je ne vais l'homme de l'homme, I can't see anything at all. By the way, the word l'homme also means tier in Guernsey French as well as drop.